There's a lot of them. I can't think of any right offhand.
I like to live up to my reputation of being a nice guy. This is it, folks.
Beautiful, baby. I've got to go back to rehearsal, folks. Thank you very much.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this video on Elvis is the Man. With the Elvis movie that just came out, a lot of people are searching why did Elvis fire Col Parker in '73, and also the question arises because of this: why didn't he fire him sooner? Why didn't he stick with it? Why didn't we hear about these things early in his career when we saw that Elvis' career was going on a downward path? Why did it take so long for Elvis to kind of act on his irritability? In this video, I'm going to try to tackle it with 3 different types of reasons or suggestions as to why he may not have done this. This can't really be, proven. Yes, this was. It's not like, we're really psychologists who could really analyze this and totally give you a definite answer. And neither could they, really. This is all hypothetical, but here are my 3 reasons on why Elvis never really fired Col Parker.
The belt is an award from the.
Come on through here.
As soon as the colonel gets through talking, I'll tell you.
So guys, the first thing I tell people when they ask me why didn't Elvis fire Col Parker, the first reason I give is just for whatever reason, Elvis wasn't a very confrontational type guy. He didn't like confrontation. Now, he was very confrontational, like with his inner circle. I mean, we all read fights that he had with his family, the Memphis Mafia, and those types. But when it came to outsiders, just for whatever reason, he didn't like that type of confrontation. Now, when it came to Parker, he was more like abrasive and made it even harder to communicate with. As you can see from like certain instances in the Madison Square Garden press conference and others when you read about how he dealt with like executives and like directors. He was kind of abrasive, kind of a jerk. A lot of people, would characterize him as. And so Elvis, he, unless things got really bad, like you saw with the Elvis movie, he wouldn't really go into head-to-head confrontations with Colonel. He would use middlemen like Joe Esposito. That would be like one of the middlemen. Sometimes Elvis used Lamar or others to get messages to Colonel about what he wanted. Things would have to get really bad for Elvis to actually challenge Parker on things like you saw the '68 special. And with the Elvis movie also, people are like, well, did Elvis really do that on stage? Did he really fire Parker on stage? No, they added that for dramatization. Just to make the movie a little better. Elvis was like that, though, behind closed doors. He went so far as firing Parker. And, we know what happened when Parker gave him like a bogus bill about everything you owe me. Elvis probably could have got a lawyer. Parker was just really, I think, fronting to just keep Elvis because, that's how Parker made money. But Elvis didn't like confrontation, and so he, like a lot of people that, we know, he just let things go, get things worse, rather than, nip it in the butt right away.
What about the recent portrayals of you accusing you of misrepresenting Elvis and exploiting him?
If you give me an honest answer, do you think I exploited Elvis as much as he being exploited today?
The second reason I'll give as to why Elvis didn't fire Col Parker, in my opinion, is 2 reasons in one. One, he came out of extreme poverty. He was extremely poor. Him and his family, he knew what that was like. He didn't want to go back to that. He didn't want to make a mistake. And the second part of this second answer is he was a little insecure, actually very insecure. Part of it was because he just kind of became famous overnight. I mean, in '54, he started touring the South and had some success. People liked him, but really things changed when he got to be managed by Col Parker. And I do, hate on Parker a lot, but I think Parker was really good for Elvis in the 50s. He got him on TV quickly. He got him into movie deals. He made the right moves at the beginning of Elvis's career. And part of Elvis thought like, wow, what if Colonel really made me? What if, I can't drop this guy. What if I lose everything and go back into poverty again? Vernon was very scared about that and just you know, a lot of times they followed the money, followed easy money, like in, you know, the movie deal. It was kind of easy to go along with things because they were going so good. You know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's why things didn't really start going bad, and where Elvis didn't really start to get into drugs until like 65, 66, where he had the incident where he fell and hit his head and had to push back filming for a few weeks to get that together. That's another topic, when Parker, you know, negotiated to get, I think, another 25% out of Elvis, where it was 50-50. I think, like I said, it's part like the insecurity issue. Like, we look at Elvis as fans like, no, Elvis, you made yourself. You made Parker, really. You made Parker rich. There was only one Elvis, and there could have been another Parker. You know, he made some good moves, but Elvis doubted himself a lot. Like when he had to be drafted in the Army. I don't know if that was set up by Parker, but when he was drafted in the Army, he's like, wow, this could just come and go. I mean, music, rock and roll might be dead by the time I come back. You know, maybe I could just be an actor. You know, if the music dries up, will my fans remember me? All this stuff seems foolish to us, but this was a serious deal to Elvis. And, you know, he was scared with the 68 special, you know, about being on TV again. Will they accept me? You know, being in front of a live audience. Elvis had a lot of insecurities. What didn't help was him coming out of extreme poverty. So he was a little scared, like, what if it is because of Parker that I have so much success? And if I get rid of Parker, what if I go back into poverty? So those were two things there that Elvis, it really hindered him from making that tough decision to change managers, but a decision I think that really would have helped him. My third and final reason, like I said, these really can't be proven, but of all the years I've researched and studied Elvis, these are the three that I would tell people. The third one, and Colonel played on all these, in my opinion. He played on all these fears Elvis has had. The third one was Elvis was an extremely loyal person. One of the things that us fans like about Elvis, he was very loyal. He kept people around longer than what he should have. You know, a lot of the Memphis Mafia, like Elvis had a big group that he took care of. You know, like a lot of NBA players and famous sports celebrities, they take care of like a whole, like so many people. And because of this, Elvis had to work more. That's another story. But Elvis was a very loyal person, and he stayed with Parker longer than he should have. You know, Parker did a lot of good things for Elvis in the mid 50s, and Elvis felt like he kind of owed Parker some loyalty. Even though things aren't going well, I'm not going to kick you to the curb. I'm going to stick with you. And I think this hurt Elvis, but in the long run, you know, people love him even more. So whether you want to call it spiritual law, whatever, Elvis continued to rise even after death. But Gladys didn't want him to go with Parker, but once he did, he stuck with him ride or die for the most part. I think that if it would have been a different type of guy, he would have got rid of Parker after like 63, 64, definitely by 65, but we all know the story.